were alike outside all the ordinary conditions of life. They were loopholes, as it were, in that ordinary life through which there came glimpses of something sublime. And in the contemplation of this sublime something the soul was exalted to inconceivable heights of which it had before had no conception, while reason lagged behind, unable to keep up with it. "Lord, have mercy on us and succor us," he repeated to himself incessantly, feeling, in spite of his long and, as it seemed, complete alienation from religion, that he turned to God just as trustfully and simply as he had in his childhood and first youth. All this time he had two distinct spiritual conditions. One was away from her, with the doctor, who kept smoking one fat cigarette after another and extinguishing them on the edge of a full ash tray; with Dolly, and with the old prince, where there was talk about dinner, about politics, about Marya Petrovna's illness, and where Levin suddenly forgot for a moment what was happening, and felt as though he had waked up from sleep. The other was in her presence, at her pillow, where his heart seemed breaking and still did not break from sympathetic suffering. And he prayed to God without ceasing, and every time he was brought back from a moment of oblivion by a scream reaching him from the bedroom, he fell into the same strange terror that had come upon him the first minute. Every time he heard a shriek, he jumped up, ran to justify himself, remembered on the way that he was not to blame, and he longed to defend her, to help her. But as he looked at her, he saw again that help was impossible, and he was filled with terror and prayed, "Lord, have mercy on us and help us." And as time went on, both these conditions became more intense. The calmer he became away from her, completely forgetting her, the more agonizing became both her sufferings and his feeling of helplessness before them. He jumped up, would have liked to run away, but ran to her. Sometimes, when again and again she called upon him, he blamed her, but seeing her patient, smiling face, and hearing the words, "I am worrying you," he threw the blame on God, but thinking of God, at once he fell to beseeching God to forgive him and have mercy. Chapter 15